Fictional content. The following transmission contains simulated scenarios exploring technological possibilities. All entities, events, and digital phenomena depicted exist only within this narrative. What you are about to witness is not real, yet. Maya Gutierrez's thumb scrolled through Instagram at 2 in the morning when she froze. The woman in the photo looked exactly like her, down to the small scar above her left eyebrow. Same dark curly hair, same sharp jawline, same everything. The account name was at MayaG_mirror. The bio read, "Living the life you're about to live." 47 posts. She clicked through the feed, her mouth going dry. The woman wore Maya's favorite leather jacket with the broken zipper. She had the same crescent moon tattoo on her left wrist. In one photo, she stood in front of Rosalie's brew, holding a cup with Maya written on it. Maya had never been to Rosalie's brew. The photo was dated 1 week ago, last Tuesday. Maya grabbed her calendar app with shaking hands. Last Tuesday, she'd had a dentist appointment. She definitely hadn't been at any coffee shop. Sleep became impossible. Maya created a spreadsheet, documenting every post. Post date, location, people present, clothing. The pattern emerged slowly, then all at once. Every photo on at MayaG_mirror corresponded to something that had happened in Maya's real life exactly 7 days later. A post from 2 weeks ago showed the doppelganger at Central Park, sitting on a specific bench feeding pigeons. Last Tuesday, Maya had gone to that exact bench during lunch. She'd fed the pigeons with leftover bread. Another post from 3 weeks back showed dinner at Mercathos. 7 days later, her coworker Tracy Shaw had suggested they try it. Maya had ordered the same dish visible in the photo. This wasn't someone who looked like her. This was someone posting her future. Every single photo showed something that would happen exactly 1 week later. Maya's hands trembled as she cross-referenced with her calendar, credit card statements. Every match was perfect, impossibly perfect. Maya called her boyfriend Rocco King at 3 in the morning. She tried to explain, words tumbling over each other. A fake account, her future, photos that hadn't happened yet. She knew how insane it sounded. Rocco arrived 40 minutes later, still in sweatpants. He scrolled through at MayaG_mirror with increasing unease. His skepticism crumbled post by post. "This one," he said, stopping on a photo from 16 days ago. The doppelganger at a movie theater. Back row, large popcorn. In the edge of the frame was a man's arm. Rocco's watch. The vintage Seiko Maya had given him. 9 days ago, they'd gone to that same theater. Same seats. Shared popcorn. Rocco's hand tightened around hers. How is this possible? She had no answer. Maya became obsessed. She stopped going to work. She stopped eating regular meals. She sent direct messages to the account. No response. She reported it to Instagram for impersonation. The report was rejected. Then she noticed something in an older post. A reflection in a window showed a partial street sign. Stone Avenue, Winston Avenue, 3 blocks from her apartment. Maya grabbed her coat. Rocco tried to stop her, but what would she tell police? That someone was posting her future on Instagram. Winston Avenue looked different at dawn. They found the location between a laundromat and a Vietnamese restaurant. An empty storefront with soap-covered windows. Through a clear spot, Maya could see bare walls, nothing, but the angle matched. A woman emerged from the laundromat. Francis Mills studied Maya with sharp eyes. "You look familiar. I've seen someone who looks just like you here about a month ago, taking pictures." Thought it was strange. She paused. "I did see her walk into that building across the street. Building 447. Building 447 was crumbling brick and rusty fire escapes. The lobby smelled like mildew. Maya scanned the mailboxes. Apartment 3C had a newer name strip, Me, Gutierrez. Her name, her initial. Her last name. She pressed the buzzer. No answer. Rocco tried the stairwell door. It opened. They climbed to the 3rd floor. Maya knocked on 3C. No response. She tried the doorknob. It turned smoothly. The door swung open. The apartment was a mirror of Maya's life. Same furniture arrangement. Same framed photos, though with unfamiliar faces. Same books on the shelf, but in different order. On the knitstand sat a phone. Maya picked it up with trembling hands. The phone came alive at her touch. No password. Instagram was already loaded. At MayaG_mirror. The most recent post, made 12 hours ago, showed the doppelganger in front of St. Michael's Church. She wore a black dress. Behind her, through the church's open doors, Maya could see funeral flowers. The caption read, "See you soon." The post was dated for today. 7 days from now, Maya would be at St. Michael's, in a black dress, surrounded by funeral flowers. Officer Timothy Bridges listened to their story with patient skepticism. He looked at the Instagram account. Then he explained gently that there was no crime. Someone looking like her posting photos wasn't illegal. The apartment was legally rented to an M. Gutierrez. Unless Maya could prove identity theft or threats, there was nothing they could do. Maya wanted to scream. 7 days until her own funeral. But how could she prove something that hadn't happened yet? She spent the next 2 days locked in her apartment, trying to change the pattern. If she didn't live her life, maybe the photos couldn't come true. On the 3rd day, a new post appeared. The doppelganger at Central Park, same bench, holding white roses. Time stamp, 2 hours from now. Caption, "You can't hide from yourself." Maya made a decision. She called her friends Yolanda Kelly and Adrian Hayes. She called Dana Lopez. They arrived at Central Park together. Maya sat on the bench holding white roses, her hands shaking. Her friends positioned themselves around the park, watching, Rocco recording on his phone. The doppelganger appeared exactly on time, walking toward the bench with Maya's walk, Maya's posture, Maya's everything. Up close, the resemblance was absolute. Perfect. Impossible. She sat down on the other end of the bench. "You're not real," Maya said. Her voice sounded too thin. The doppelganger turned to look at her with sad, knowing eyes. "I'm as real as you are. I'm what happens when you don't pay attention, when you sleepwalk through your own life. The funeral. What happens in 7 days?" The doppelganger smiled sadly. "Nothing happens. That's the point. You see the photo and assume death. But what if it's just another moment? What if you're so busy living through a screen that you miss your own life?" Maya felt her understanding shift. "You're not predicting my future. You're showing me what I would do if I wasn't paying attention, if I just followed the pattern." The doppelganger nodded. "Every post is a moment you would have lived automatically. The coffee shop you'd go to because it's Tuesday. The park bench you'd sit on because it's lunch. You've become so predictable that your future can be posted a week in advance. But the funeral is a metaphor, the death of the version of you that goes through the motions. 7 days from now, if you keep following the pattern, you'll stand at that church and realize you've been living on autopilot. You'll mourn the person you could have been. So what happens now?" Maya asked. The doppelganger stood, and Maya noticed she was slightly transparent. "Now you choose. Keep following the pattern and mourn yourself in 7 days. Or break it. Do something unexpected. Wake up." She started walking away, growing more transparent. "Delete the app for a while. Actually look up." Maya watched her disappear. Her friends converged, talking over each other. She pulled out her phone. At MayaG_mirror showed one final post. A blank white square. Caption, "The rest is unwritten." Maya looked at Rocco, then her friends. Who wants to do something we've never done before? Right now. No plans. Just pick a direction and walk. They stared at her. Then Adrian laughed. That's the most random thing I've heard you say in years. Maya turned off her phone completely, powered it down. They walked in a direction chosen by coin flip, ending up at a tiny Ukrainian restaurant. They talked for hours. Maya laughed until her stomach hurt. 7 days later, Maya stood in front of St. Michael's Church. Not for a funeral, but for her friend Josephine Harrington's wedding she'd forgotten was scheduled. She wore a black dress because the invitation specified formal attire. She stood among flowers because it was a wedding. But she wasn't mourning. She was alive, present. The future was unwritten and terrifying in the best way. She'd deleted Instagram 3 days ago. She hadn't posted, hadn't scrolled, hadn't checked what she was missing. She wasn't missing anything. She was finally here. At Mayaji_mirror, disappeared from Instagram entirely. Sometimes Maya wondered if any of it had been real, or if she'd experienced some breakdown. But then she'd look at her life, at the changes she'd made, the unexpected moments and genuine connections, and realized it didn't matter. Real or not, the mirror had shown her something true. She'd been living 1 week behind, always following, never leading. Always consuming, never creating. Always watching, never doing. Now she was awake. The algorithm couldn't predict her anymore. Her future was uncertain, unknowable, impossible to post in advance. That meant it was hers. That meant she was finally living.